I may not have graduated from USC, but I could do some math. 1 + 1 = LeBron, and I ain't going nowhere.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Taken away from
Sports
the
show.
barn is alive again.
Got me in my hormones, all gas, no brakes, score 4-0. If you think you own this place, you get 4 calls.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? What, did you forget this voice?
Oh, boy.
You better not. I was only gone a week, but I know that you weren't. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in while I was away for Mitch and Friends. Mitch and Friends, that's a good one.
I like that show.
Yeah, I like that show a lot. Look, you're speaking of shows. Let's talk about a show that we all like. It's called The Sports Show. At Sports Show Podcast. Look for the blue and white logo. Don't skip it. Don't miss it. Like it. Love it. Leave a comment. Leave a review. Leave it all on the table. It's on Instagram and it's on the YouTube. Podbean, Spotify, CJSW.com, 90.9 FM. Well, you're listening to all the greats.
Oh, yeah.
We're everywhere.
Here we go.
But yeah, subscribe to the channel. Do your thing. It's good to be back. Mitch, thanks for holding the fort down while I was away last week.
Pleasure was all mine. I have to admit, I still, each time you leave, I get very nervous on the keyboards. I get a little nervous, but I have to hand it 8-time.
8-time.
Big data showing up with Sonny M. I know what you're all going to say. I'm not getting rid of Dimitri. But it was close. It was close.
They did all right.
They did great. They had fun. And you know what the best part is? They had fun. They had fun.
That's what it's about.
To the point where I think they might want to do their own thing, which I would support.
Why not?
I would love to be part, not me be part. Well, I could be part if they want. But the point is, I would love to see them do it because I think they got a little something.
Podcasting's a drug, isn't it?
Buddy, it's addictive.
It is addictive. People come here and they understand why we do it week to week, why we do this thing that we love, and that's why we do it.
We love podcasting I would say almost as much, if not more, than our families. Speaking of families, you know me, minding my own business. I was perusing the nets. Last week, we talked a little bit about it because we did a little NBA talk, just a little bit, and a lot of great things. NBA did start this week.
That's what they're good at, by the way.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They're good at the NBA. They get the NBA.
They get it. They got it. And, NFL, they're not too shabby at it either. They know their thing. Hockey, yeah, okay, not their biggest thing.
Maybe not the two most, likeliest candidates, however.
But they admit that's not their thing.
Just like we admit that baseball's not ours.
If you want me to be honest, they're really good at the underbelly of sports. Just throwing that out there. Last week, Big Data brought it up. So did Sonny M. The whole LeBron, Bronny making their NBA debut, father-son combination. They're here. They did it. It's over now. And I just got word. I literally just saw it on the nets that after this road trip, they're going to go on the road.
Yeah.
So they got a home game tonight. But after that, they're going to go on the road. And when they come back, he's probably going to the G League.
Yeah.
See, this is what I was talking about last week. That's child. You did this on purpose just to get some clicks. That's not nice. You made the kid think he's NBA worthy. That's not nice.
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm okay with all of it.
You think so?
He got there because of his dad.
Right.
To a degree.
Look.
And he's going down because of his dad.
Right.
To a degree. There's nothing wrong, right? There's nothing wrong about this whole scenario. And you know what? In a business of marketing, and especially in your face as it is, if you think about it. So let's just run the scenario that it was all a big marketing play.
Which it was.
So what? What's the impact of it being that?
For Bronny's confidence, quite a bit. For everyone else, nothing.
But you don't think he knew something like that going in? Because I don't see LeBron James.
I don't know.
Listen, LeBron is such a competitor.
Right.
And dedicated to to the team and because he controls it. He's look at the clout he has.
Right.
This was already talked about.
Right.
They all know it.
So there's a commercial going around of LeBron hazing, doing the rookie haze, as everyone knows, to Bronny, where he's pouring all this cereal into his car, and then Bronny goes to open the door and all the cereal comes out. Here's my thing. In the commercial, LeBron specifically says, hey, make sure you clean up my driveway, which would also make me realize that's probably your car. Granted, Bronny's driving it. That I just don't get the whole thing. You just wrecked your old car, LeBron.
If you're making money like that,
right?
Do you still live at home?
Oh, 100%.
Like at one point, you'd be like, "Listen, I know the money you're making now."
Yeah.
Like, does he pull the whole? Dad, okay. Do you know how tough it is to make it on your own? You're making $5 million a year. What do you mean
Right.
make it? No, it's hard.
No.
Okay.
1,000,000%. He is living at home still.
Has to.
And here's the funny part.
I don't blame him.
The other rookies on the team or the other first-year guys or whatever who are making, let's say, the same amount as Bronny. And there's, like LA's expensive. However you want to look at it.
It's expensive.
And especially tonight, USC's playing. LeBron taking on Phoenix and first game of the World Series. And there's 2 concerts going on. Traffic is out of, you think traffic in LA is bad now? Imagine today. All I'm saying is Bronny's staying at home going, I may not have graduated from USC, but I could do some math. 1 + 1 = LeBron, and I ain't going nowhere.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. One other thing I found
Sure.
as I was perusing the nets, Rashid Rice, your guy. You saw him this weekend. Well, you didn't. You might have saw him on the sidelines, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's obviously got a mama, and his mom was caught red-handed this week. No pun intended, because they're,
Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah. So she ended up stealing an Amazon box.
Okay.
But the best part is, it wasn't bad enough that the doorbell camera caught her.
Sure.
She's wearing her son's jersey.
She tried to frame him.
She tried to frame
her son.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was a really funny.
My
she's
name is Rashid Rice.
you see her picking up the box and she's walking away and it's on the back. And then so imagine the person's calling the police going, yeah,
Right.
somebody stole my box. What were they wearing? Oh, Rashid Rice jersey. They're doing their little review of the people that live in the area and they're like, Rashid Rice mama lives like 2 doors down. Like, of all the things you could have worn, miss,
man.
you go and wear, you framed yourself and you framed your son.
Get the fake glasses with the mustache and big nose, trench coat. Just do it.
And you know what? Didn't Rashid get in a little bit of trouble this year right before the season? I think he got into a car accident. I think he walked away.
No. There is something that happened, right? Yeah.
I think he was a little hammed.
I was just going to say.
And he had walked away from the accident. I'm almost positive.
That confirms it, because I was going to say I remember it being that he avoided a DUI.
That's, I think, what it was.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We're just saying.
We're not
We're not saying anything.
We're not saying. We're just saying.
We're just saying.
You can say,
but without going further into saying it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's the say, but then there's the just say. The
Just
just say is
wins.
exactly.
That's it.
Seriously.
Let's go over to the NHL. Let's go over. It's
Sure.
We're about 2 weeks into the season.
And I am officially a Winnipeg Jets fan.
Hey, who isn't? But we're going to talk about them a little bit because they're the most weird team I've ever seen in my life, maybe.
It's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy.
But before we get to that, I want to talk about your guy, number 87 for those Pittsburgh Penguins.
Sure.
This week, he's 37 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He's 1,277 games into the season, and he's only 8 goals shy of getting 600. Maybe one less. I don't know if he scored this week. He's now one of the top of all time. He got his 1,600th point. Where do you put him on your Mount Mitchmore of all time, or whatever? Now, I want 2 categories. I want the last 25 years,
Okay.
and I want the all-time list.
Last 25 years and
if he might be on both. I don't
Sure,
know.
Sure.
But give me where Sidney Crosby lines up right now, because everybody's on his bandwagon right now. Everyone, I think, is really cheering for him to win one more cup. He's getting all these accolades. He's going to hit 600, obviously, this year. He's got his 1,600th point. And everyone's probably wondering, what would have happened if he didn't have those, really call it 2 seasons where he had the concussions. Yeah. Where he actually almost retired.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, I remember that season vividly. And think about this stat. Sidney Crosby, when he got concussed, at one point he had 66 points.
Yeah.
In less than 40 games. It was something like 30. It was 66 points in 30 games.
Right.
With 30 some odd goals. He was on pace at that time in the NHL. I'll never forget it. To break 140 points.
Right.
That was what, a decade ago?
Yeah.
12 years ago?
Easy.
Okay. So, and then if you look and compare to his cohorts at the time of what they were getting for points, that's insanity. And so I always look and say, well, what if Sidney Crosby was 10 years younger in today's NHL?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Where do I put him in the last 25 years?
Let's give that list first.
Number one.
Number one.
Number
Okay.
one.
Well,
I just
give me
don't-
your other three guys. Who else is on that list?
in the last
25 years.
In the last 25 years, I'd say it is Crosby
Right.
and it is Ovechkin.
Ovechkin.
Yeah.
You need two more guys. You got two more guys.
And no, you said three, right? You
Well,
said
Mount Rushmore is usually have four guys. So give me
Okay.
four.
in a weird way, you still got to put the Yager in there.
Buddy, would I just write that down?
Okay, perfect.
that
So you got to put the Yager in there because he was still relevant. And again, here's a guy, what if he didn't go over there and he stayed over here?
Good point.
And then last 25, I'm just thinking of people that retired and this and that. And,
Sakic?
no, you know what? I think I got to put a guy like Brodeur in there because
Brodeur.
because here-
going goalie.
yeah,
I like
because
that.
here's the number one of number ones in
Right,
that
right.
era.
Okay. I like what you did there.
So
I'm
I-
not going to lie to you.
All right,
No one
yeah.
ever gives respect to the goalie.
Yeah.
No, congratulations there. I like that.
Thank you. Now, in terms of all time,
All time. Does he make the list?
does he make the list?
Does he make the list?
The argument is whether he's 2 or 3
Okay. Who are your four guys on the all-time list?
on the all-time list. Wayne Gretzky,
Okay.
okay,
Of course.
Mario Lemieux,
Okay. See, okay, keep going. I'll tell
Okay.
you my theory on him.
Sidney Crosby,
Right?
And to me, I don't know if I pick Crosby over Lemieux or Lemieux over Crosby.
Fair
I got to
enough.
put
Yeah,
some more
yeah.
thought into this.
Totally.
Because we're talking a talent perspective.
Of course.
Now,
Right.
if Ovechkin breaks the goal record,
Yeah.
which he should,
Which he will.
he will take that number 4
Really?
spot for me.
Really?
If he doesn't,
Okay. Right.
then again, I got to go and I got to say, I'm not sure if I can take Yager off that list yet. Again.
Well said. Well, listen, there's nothing wrong with having 3 Penguins and an Oiler, call it, or a Ranger, whatever you want to call it, or a King, whatever you want. I like it. That's a fair listen. That's why we talk sports. This is what's the fun part about it. My top in the last 25 years, my top 4 guys are Sakic, Sidney Crosby. I do have written down Forsberg. I was a big fan. Like where Dimitri went straight talent, I think. I like talent, but I also, you guys know me, I like that grind. I like the guy that I know I can count on when the going gets tough. And Forsberg was that guy. There's something about that guy. And then the fourth guy, I would probably have to put in the last 25 years, don't call me crazy, just call me Mitch. Maybe Jarome Iginla. There's just something about a guy that just didn't have anything, in my humble opinion, around him for so many years. And to do what he did, he's in there. He's in maybe he's number 5 or 6, but right off the top of my head, that's where I'm putting him at 4. My all-time list of all time, Gretzky's number 1. Number 2 is Sidney Crosby. At number 3, I would probably go with Sakic again. And at number 4, you know what? I liked your goalie thing, and I'm wondering, do I go Patrick Roy or do I go Brodeur? I'll leave it alone, and I'll just say, how about this? I think you gotta throw a defenseman in there, and I'll throw Bobby Orr. Even though it's not my generation, it's not something I follow too much, you gotta respect the guy that kind of started that whole revolution. So those are my top 4. But going back to the Lemieux thing, and I'm probably gonna start a fight here, and I'm not trying to, I swear to God. Here's the thing. When it comes to Mario Lemieux, we're always putting him in that category, what if? Point is we'll never know, and it sucks. And during the time that he was there, super MAGA. The guy was as good as it gets. But because he wasn't able to do, I got to put that in my tick box. I got to put it in there, man.
Yeah, but Mitch, you know what? Number 1, this is where I'll argue with you. Even on the what if, he still accomplished more than Sakic has. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look at records that Lemieux has.
Yeah, I know.
You look at the point.
know.
Here's the thing with this is the only what if with Lemieux is against Gretzky, not the league. I agree. From a talent perspective, this is where I battle and I say, my heart actually wants me to put Sidney Crosby as number 2.
Right.
Because I think all around, actually from a talent perspective and work and all that, there's an argument that Crosby's the best player ever.
Right.
I mean, this guy's out of control, but you just can't do it because the stats don't lie in some things. Here's the thing with Lemieux. he had seasons where his highest point season was 199 points. He was 16 points off the yearly total.
Right.
He had a higher points per game average than Wayne Gretzky. He had 2 Stanley Cups in a dynasty before he got Hodgkins, before he had the back stuff and all that. He has game records, goal records, season he has a lot of records. He has the playoff record. I mean, I get it. You put all this stuff. The only what if for Lemieux is what if he played to be the GOAT. That's how good he was.
You're absolutely right. Okay, how about this? I take Bobby Orr out.
Right.
I'll put Lemieux in.
Fair.
But I take Sakic out on my other list, and I put, I don't know why, Messier in.
I was thinking the Messier
Now
too.
I got to go Messier. Because he's more of that guy that I like, meaning like the Forsberg, like the stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know what? No,
like
Forsberg, you're out. Messier, you're in. Sakic, you're back in.
Yeah.
I don't know which list I'm talking about anymore. I'm so confused, but it doesn't matter.
It's the Mount Mitchmore.
It's the Mount Mitchmore, and it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
It's fun, isn't it?
It really is.
But Crosby is a MAGA. You know, for years, I never gave him the love that he deserves. And then watching him the other night against Calgary won, by the way.
Yep.
But you know what? The guy's still a draw. The guy still got it, bro. It's like somebody forgot to tell him that, hey, man, you're 37. It's okay. You can tail off a little bit. He's like, no, I'm good. I want to go 120% right now.
This is what I wish. Not I wish. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do. But the players in the league that are on the come up.
Yeah.
This is what they need.
Yeah.
To look at how to be. He has no obligation anymore.
That's right.
To have any sort of commitment level at that pace, at that commitment level. Like, he has no reason to do it. He's a 3-time champ.
3-time.
So he has all he's won his awards, he's won his titles, he's won his cups, he's got his money, he's done everything. At 37, he could wind it down, but he can't help himself. It's in you. I'm telling you, Nathan MacKinnon has a lot to thank in some respects to being with Sidney Crosby so close, because they're both from Cole Harbour and everything there.
Yeah.
That you see it in MacKinnon. And where's the proof in the pudding?
That's true.
The proof is in the pudding is when we put MacKinnon against McDavid. Even on this show, we got the MacKinnon over the McDavid.
That's
Why?
right. That's
because he's a winner.
That's right.
Of work ethic.
Do you
Not
realize
to say McDavid doesn't. But look at it, you guys.
Do you realize we didn't put either one of those guys you just named on our top 25, on our top list in the last 25 years? They're on their way. Let's call it. They will be on it in the next few years. But that's how amazing the talent pool in hockey has been over the last little while. Let's jump over to something that's happening in February. Hockey's just starting, but the Four Nations Cup. You got Canada, U.S., Sweden, and Finland. Can I just say one thing? Can I say two things, actually?
Yeah.
Number one, they were interviewing MacKinnon and they were interviewing Mr. McDavid, and they asked him, hey, who should be the captain? And both of them, without even hesitating, Sidney's our captain. Done. That's also another thing you can throw into the loop. Crazy. But here's my thing. You're talking about the Four Nations, and these countries are all amazing. Why is Russia being thrown? Like, I know why, guys, but this is not fair. This is not fair. Like, okay, 4 nations / 5 nations. What is being done over there is over there, because I hate to say it, it's been going on for 2+ years.
Shocking NATO countries.
Yeah, but the reality is, it's so true, actually, good point. But in all honesty, you guys, how can you have a 4 Nations Cup of hockey and not have Russia in there? As Canadians, 1972 is a thing. It's a thing here in Canada. We have commercials about it. And you're not going to have Russia? So here's my theory on it. Fine, you don't want to have Russia as a country? The Russian players should be allowed to play for any of those 4. 4 of those countries can turn around and go, you know what? This is free agency. So Ovechkin can be Ovechkin/Smith. Ovechkin Smith. Or Malkanopoulos. I'm Greek heritage. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm playing for Team Canada. Am I crazy or am I crazy?
Hi, my name is Alex Ovechkin Smith.
Yeah. Why not? It's hyphenated. Yeah. It's fair, man.
Man, it is a tragedy.
Do you like my idea of the free agency for the Russians?
Well, why are they not there?
Canada? Do we not need a goalie? Vasilevsky Ellis needs to join us.
Hi, Gary Vaskolevsky.
Exactly.
You called it, Mitch. You called it. I didn't know where you were going with it. In my head, I'm like, I'm going to bring up Russia if he doesn't. But
no, but buddy, okay.
Why would I need to?
I mean, we
Are
can't.
there 2 people here?
Are there? We've asked millions of times. But what are your thoughts on this Four Nations Cup? Are you excited about it? I'm actually getting a little excited about it.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to watch it too. It's look, when is it ever a bad thing to have super team hockey?
Never.
It's just never.
And it's during February. So that's usually the All-Star weekend. So I didn't look in the schedule. I'm hoping
replace.
God hoping, God willing, this is what's
I would
replacing it.
love to replace the All-Star game for this Nations Cup.
Now we're on to something.
And add a skills competition.
I kind of feel bad for the best players to some degree because they. But on the other side, I take that back.
If they're not, they should be on the team.
They were going to go to the All-Star game anyways. So you know what?
it.
Who cares about it?
Well, not the Russians, apparently.
Well, not the Russian. So any team that's heavy Russian, we're going to make some major future bets come February.
Oh, but yeah, that'll.
You know what I'm saying?
They're
going to be
gonna
well
be
rested. Exactly. We're on it. We already figured it out, NHL. We know what you're doing.
Tampa Bay's winning the cup.
All right, we're a couple of
Okay.
we're already a couple of weeks in. Flames right now. We picked it. Everyone picked it to come last, but they're not last. South Carolina George might be the only guy that actually called the Flames being, guys, I like the rebuild. I like what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Right now, as it stands, number 1 in the Pacific.
Yeah.
They're playing good hockey. Did we overestimate or underestimate the Flames, or are you going to say this is a crash and burn situation?
I want to ask South Carolina George because Carolina handed them their first loss.
Right.
How does he feel about that?
That's not nice, George. You called him and then you sent your team over to do that? That's not nice.
Must be nice, hey? Must be nice. If you're going to break the streak, it just happens to be the Carolinas.
He's
nice
playing
try.
both ends. You're playing both ends.
You really are Greek, aren't you?
Well, last year it was a hit, and this year it's going to be a bigger hit. What is it? It's the NHL Power Rankings. Yes!
We're back, baby!
Sponsored by Sinatra's. Why? Because we made them do it. That's the thing. Here we go. At number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? At number 5, it's the New York Rangers. Last year's number 1. This year's number 5. They're looking pretty good. They just signed Laferriere to a 7-year. Shesterkin doesn't take anything, so I'm not sure who's in the right and who's in the wrong here. Just saying.
It's a tough team.
That's a tough team. At number 4, it's the Dallas Stars. Look, on paper, Dimitri, the best team.
In the NHL.
In the NHL. On paper.
Agreed.
Number 4, and if they start going, everyone knows, watch out for the Dallas Stars. Because I feel like they held up a little bit.
They're shining bright, baby.
At number 3, they've got the reputation, like Dimitri and I. People have reputations.
Yeah.
As boring. It's the Minnesota Wild. They're not so boring anymore at number 3.
Not so boring.
Not so boring. Good on you guys. At number 2, hey, we're here. It's Calgary, baby. I was going to put you number 1, but I couldn't do it. Why? Because the number 1 team still hasn't lost.
Yeah.
They're the best team in the NHL. They're 7-0-0. It's the Winnipeg Jets at number 1.
Not just the best in the West, the best of all the rest.
That's right.
Bing.
Here's what's weird about them. Last year, at the beginning of the season, not so great start, to the point where the Bettman came in and said, hey, where are the fans? What's going on here? Then they got good.
Yeah.
Then the fans started coming. Then they went on a heater. They end up winning the Central. Then they they came second in the Central.
Yeah.
Then they had to take on Colorado in the first round of the playoffs. Oh my God, this is going to go 7. These guys are going to kill each other. They got killed all right. Colorado beat them in 5. And now they're the best team again at the beginning of the season. I can't get it right with these guys.
I don't understand.
No one understands.
They're a shitty kid.
They're horrible.
They're a horrible child.
A horrible kid.
So much promise. We love you anyways,
Hey.
but just some consistency would be nice.
It would be nice if you guys would just let it be what it is. Just be consistent, exactly as Dimitri said. Be consistent. Be consistent. All right. Speaking of consistency, you're not getting any of that in the NFL, the juggernaut. Last week, my partner in crime said, hey, you take over the keyboards. I'm getting out of here. He goes down to San Francisco to watch Patrick Mahomes
Live.
and the boys of San Francisco. Brock Purdy, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl rematch. Here we go. Dimitri, I got to ask you straight up. A, What was it like watching Patrick Mahomes? B, what is wrong with San Francisco?
Oh, I'll tell you both answers to the question. Number one, he does manage the keys when I'm gone. Just like I have to manage the agenda when he's gone. And I got to be honest with you. We respect each other's roles.
Mm-hmm.
They're not easy.
No, they're not.
But what was funny is that brother-in-law Brendan,
Yeah.
when we were there and messaging, and by the way, our conversation,
The password.
I didn't say password 1, 2, 3.
I'll show you. Did you look at the messenger?
Yes, I did. It's not there.
I'll show you.
Show it to me because I look.
It's on the phone right now.
I know. I'll show, but it's not there.
I'm going to show you after.
Say the word Coke.
Coke.
Jinx. Good. Mitch. Fine. Listen. So here's the thing. He's like, man, how come every time you go away, Mitch has a question about the tag? Even he notices.
It's literally, guys, if you're not doing it week to week like
Right.
Dimitri does, it is confusing. Like, think about the span. Right now, you don't go anywhere for a while, okay?
Right.
For a year. I will not touch that keyboard and
touch it.
save or do any of the edits for 1 year.
Do you see
Then he goes.
Do you see papers in front of me?
Exactly.
I
But
don't.
it's still, buddy, it nerves wrack me to the nth degree. You have no idea.
But I do the agenda. I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about things, but I'm like, I know Mitch is going to be critiquing. He's going to be criticizing.
It's true.
You can't help it.
You can't.
You can't. It's like a car seat.
It's your baby.
Listen, it's the car seat. It's the driver's seat.
That's right.
Yeah, you can adjust it and you'll figure it out and you find the comfy spot. But for whatever reason, if it's off kilter, it's just like, why'd you mess with my seat? Like, why?
That's right.
Why would you
do
tilt
that?
the head?
Exactly.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I digress. Let's get back to the point here.
Let's get it.
You want to talk Patrick Mahomes?
Please.
I'm going to tell you something. Ladies, babies, honey, sugar babies, listen. I am so privileged in my lifetime that I can truly say I got to see one of the greats, if not what will end up being top 5 GOATs. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Agreed.
He's on pace.
Yeah.
If he's not already in the top 5 in a weird way. Nonetheless, he's so... I got to start in warm-up. We get to the stadium. We get to Levi's. We get there early, and we walk up, and we're watching them practice. So they're just throwing out routes to practice the ball, okay? So they're in the end zone. All of you been to a game, you would have seen it. His backup is Carson Wentz.
Right.
Carson Wentz, right? Carson
Yeah,
Wentz.
that's right,
It's
yeah.
Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz, who was the Philly faithful. I mean, all chips were on this guy. I mean, they couldn't say enough things about him. They ended up winning a Super Bowl with Big Dick Nick.
That's right.
You know, who came in. But the thing was amazing. And then he gets the injury. Like, all I'm saying is Carson Wentz at one point in time was in the top 3 best QBs in the league. That's how they had him. When I tell you, even in warm-up, the difference between throwing of these two people is night and day.
Really?
Mahomes is beyond this guy. He was just throwing balls effortlessly.
Really?
Going where Carson Wentz, you could see he's like, I'm the backup. I got it. Like he got everything he's got. That's number one. Here's the other thing I noticed. We talked about this. The Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes at the helm don't care how they win. And when you have extreme talent and you have that attitude, watch out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know another recipe for extreme success that a team needs. They don't rely on Mahomes' arm. They rely on his gamemanship. They rely on everyone else on the team. Like, and you see it. Like, I'm watching plays. At one point in time, he had thrown a pass to Kelsey, who even this guy, he doesn't care about the stats he's getting. He just cares about being ready when his number's getting called.
That's true. I'll give you that.
The whole team's like that.
100%. That I agree with.
And watching it live, you see it. And look, Mahomes is body checking people out and stiff arming people.
He
out of the way.
bodied that guy in the end zone so bad, man.
And watching it live, like me and Brendan, we were in the Lions that were like, ah!
The only thing that would have been more amazing, Dimitri, if that was in Kansas City, the fans would have probably pulled down the stadium with that hit.
You're right. The only thing, you're right, with being an Arrowhead.
Yeah.
So you asked me, Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked you San Francisco in general, but
San Francisco and Brock Purdy in general. Look, San Francisco's a little bit injured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
We got to give him that.
Sure.
You know, McCaffrey, you know, some of these guys that are integral parts of the offense, the way they run it,
of course.
fine. But here's the difference between Mahomes and Brock Purdy. Talent,
Yep.
okay, yeah, fine. Talent, the arm.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is just there to run what Shanahan tells him to run. There is no inventiveness. Larry's going to kill me right now and never give me tickets again. But he does not. There's no ad lib.
Yeah.
There's no improv.
I don't think he's allowed to.
Well, I agree for sure. But there's nothing. He does not have that je ne sais quoi. And so when your team is hungry to be creative and have playmakers, I'm telling you, it's even more evident to me. Two problems. Number one, Ayuk, I'm looking at you.
Two problems.
Ayuk, you held out for your money,
Yeah.
but you couldn't put it where your mouth is.
That's true.
And the football gods cleaned you up out of that game.
Truth.
Kittle is close to kettle, and that's a pot of water that can't boil.
Oh.
Out.
Clip this.
Out.
Clip
And
this.
out.
Clip this.
Everybody out.
Oh no. Can I say something
'Kay.
real quick? I think as much as you're absolutely right, Kittle, look, he is older, but he's still when he's called upon and he's got his opportunities, he takes it. The McCaffrey thing, that's just injury luck.
That's hard.
That is.
That's hard.
Trent Williams, another guy. Samuel was hurt. Ayuk. So, but here's the thing. Can I be honest? The injuries is the major factor here. That is number one on the list.
Of
Done.
course,
Finished,
of course,
okay?
of course.
However, at number two, I do think I'm starting to believe that Kyle Shanahan might be the problem. I am not trying to make a hot take, Larry. I am not trying to start a fight. But here's the thing. The numbers are against him. Fourth quarter, guy gets a little shy. Guy gets a little nervous. Doesn't close out the fourth quarters. Number two, you know what, man? How many times do we have to see that he's not closing out as a head coach, that maybe it's not meant for him? Even when he was an offensive coordinator in Atlanta, and we don't want to talk about that. But the point is, look at Cliff Clinsbury, the coach of Arizona last year.
Yep.
He was okay, nothing great.
Sure.
Goes back and becomes a coordinator where he kind of started for Washington now. And look at Washington. Some guys might be just better at being coordinators and being the teacher to the quarterback or a certain segment of the offense,
right,
rather than running the whole team. Kyle is getting to that point where I think we got to start looking at that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it there.
We talked about Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Who had success by taking, doing a regular season job, relying on someone to fill in for the playoffs.
Right.
Where actually he couldn't finish the job.
Right.
I think Shanahan, I agree. Is he a bad coach, Mitch?
No,
Absolutely.
he's not a bad coach.
No.
That's not what I'm saying.
I don't
at
think
all.
that's what you're
No,
saying.
no.
But he's not a closer.
He's not a closer, bro.
He's been there twice.
He gets the clients through the door.
But
they're leaving going, we'll call you back.
Listen, he's been there twice.
Right.
He hasn't sealed the deal. He gets gun shy in the fourth quarter. You're absolutely right. He relies too much on the structure and hopes that it goes.
Exactly.
You cannot be an overstructured coach in any sport that has too much nuance in it. Rely on your players. Let them be creative a little bit. A little bit. There was a crazy stat that was thrown out that Brock Purdy had no passes at one point in the game beyond 5 yards.
I believe it. I didn't see that. I was running around, but I watched the game after, and guys, it's not wrong. You're absolutely right. It's all dump and chase. It's all dump and chase. He might as well be an NHL first liner.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And if we say, well, maybe you're too harsh. No, I'm not too harsh.
No.
Because the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs played in the Super Bowl last year. It is speculated, or it was forecasted, that it would be a rematch again this year. Everyone is talking about that these are the two best teams. Well, you know what? We're looking at Kansas City, where everyone, for whatever reason, is saying there's no production, they're not playing well by KC standards, but they're undefeated. They go into the other person's barn, they shove it down their throats. Yeah, the offense is not as potent as it is. The offense is not working as much as it is. But you know what? Every single player executes when it's time to execute. So guess what? The receivers like you, Ayuk, aren't dropping balls when they need to go. The quarterback is stiff-arming people to make a play happen. Okay? We're talking the most prolific quarterback in the last 5 years especially when it comes to touchdowns and receptions is still finding out how to win games in a Brock Purdy fashion. And Brock Purdy does not know how to win games in a Patrick Mahomes fashion. And until that happens, they ain't winning shit.
Whoa. Boom. I hate to bring up the next subject I have, which is
Aaron Rodgers.
Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles, fans going crazy, loving it. Listen, Cleveland fan, that's not nice. Okay, the guy's costing you a lot of money. Is it all his fault? I mean, you guys go and trade Cooper as well. Like, what do you guys want from this guy? Like, I'm the first guy to cut this guy down, and last week on this very pod, Sonny made a good point. You got to get him creepy again. He was good when he was creepy. You guys are trying to make him something he's not. Let him be creepy.
Give the guy a massage.
Give the guy. What's the big deal?
Why are you guys like? What's the problem?
You know what I mean? And now he can't even do that. So you know what, Cleveland fan? I love the drama. I like the jokes, Dimitri. But in all honesty, at the same time, Cleveland fan, not nice. Some guy ruptured his Achilles. You never want to see that.
They were cheering him off, buddy. That's not. Of course,
that's not nice.
But it's not his fault.
Who are you, Philly fan? You're not Philly fan.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
And this is the thing where the Cleveland fan, because you guys were the same guys cheering when you were in a bidding war with him. With I can't remember. Was it the Titans and the Vikings? Anyways, regardless, there was a bidding war for Deshaun Watson at the time, and you guys were celebrating that you won. And okay, he's not playing well, but
let him be creepy. Let him be
to
creepy. Sonny's point, let him be creepy.
Well, last I checked, Baker Mayfield, who got him into the playoffs for the first time, however, they didn't mind him leaving.
They didn't mind
to bring Deshaun Watson. So
they had
you
a
know
problem.
What? You know what, Cleveland fan, you're a problem. You never appreciated LeBron.
Buddy, look at my notes. Cleveland is the problem. The Cleveland fans are the problem.
You never appreciated LeBron.
Yeah.
He went back to give you a championship.
He went back.
That's it. That's all I got to say.
And then he left again.
Yeah. Well,
He goes, here, take this, and I'm leaving.
There you go.
Done.
I did my due diligence.
Now we're back to the Jets. Listen, we are Aaron guys. We got the best of him as Green Bay guys.
Uh-oh.
But listen, New York, let's be honest here now. You know, there comes a point, Dimitri, I have a baby on the way, as you know. And when you had babies, here's the one thing that's going to happen. Big Data's got babies. Everyone's got babies. The reality is when the baby's crying, what do? You give him its bottle. So Robert Saleh gets fired. Now, did Aaron want that? I don't know. But that's gone now. So Robert Saleh's gone. Hackett is your offensive coordinator, which when he was in Denver, if that didn't show the world that he shouldn't be a head coach of anything, then I don't know what it is. But you got your Hackett. You got your Devontae now. You got Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, the Williams brothers on defense. What else, bro, do you need? Can I just tell you something? I was watching the game the other day. It just comes down to, we talked about it 3 weeks ago on this very podcast. Young versus old. Is he better than, let's say, some of the younger quarterbacks in the league? Sure. But he's not the same Aaron Rodgers that we all want him to be or wish he was. And maybe even he wishes he was. It's over. Aaron, you play New England this week. This is the must win we're at the halfway point of the season. This is by far must win. You cannot lose this game. In fact, you got to go on a heater, bro. And I don't see it happening.
Mitch, do you want to know why Aaron Rodgers is the full problem?
Please.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because he's not frustrated that the Jets are winning. Or not winning, excuse me.
Right.
He's frustrated. I mean, he is. But follow me on this. What's frustrating the guy the most, I swear to you, I feel
I believe you. I'm
100% right.
Give it to me, baby.
He had an expectation that when he left Green Bay, it was going to be like, you know what? F me? No, don't F me. You wait and see. And he went and he got injured. Fine.
Yeah,
it happens whatever.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it. But this year, you cannot tell me that a guy like that is sitting in New York with a better team and a better start and a better, the running back for Green Bay is gone. Mind you, they had a succession plan, but it doesn't matter. The running back's gone. The receivers are gone. He took two of the receivers now.
True. Good point.
Not just one.
He took them in a nonchalant way, but yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. He took two of the receivers.
Right.
Okay? Green Bay's without the running back, without the receivers.
He was with, you're saying.
With,
yeah.
Without the quarterback. We're talking all this stuff. Offensive coordinator.
All of it.
All of it. You got it all now.
Buddy,
And
the
this
backup
guy-
quarterback, Tim Boyle, is an ex-Green Bay guy as well. He was his backup in Green Bay. He even took the backup.
Oh my goodness, that's right. He took the backup. He took the free coasters.
He took the free coasters.
And he knows, and he's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you're right, man.
He's like, this was my time to show these people why I'm worth $50 million.
Yeah.
And now he's looking at Green Bay, who got away with paying a quarterback less money
Way less money.
for better results to be the succession plan. That's why he's frustrated on the sidelines. He's sitting there watching Green Bay do their business while he can't handle his business.
Yeah, it's true.
He is the LeBron James.
Oh, no.
He is the LeBron James of the NFL. What more do you want
Wow.
to prove your legacy?
Buddy, that is the take of the year. That is, he's right, you guys. He's right.
Amy, clip both of them because I'm on
Clip
it
both.
here.
He's
You
fired.
What, you think I didn't listen to last week's podcast? I was Rodgers last week. Big data. The guy knows every sports stat. Sonny M. He's basically the brown version of me. I can't handle it. We know
True.
it.
I knew this was going to get
That's
to you.
why-
I knew
So
it.
I have to come prepared. Okay, so you clip those.
I knew
you
it.
clip those.
I knew I'd get to you.
Sonny M.
Is that what I needed to do to get the best out of you?
made me
Is
put-
that what I needed
You
to
made
do?
me put your head in a vice for Sonny M.
Good one. That was good.
You
That was
like
good.
it. You like it.
All right, last
He
one.
knows, he
Going
knows.
back to Kansas City real quick. There's been a run on the wide receivers this week. Amari Cooper, he's off to Buffalo, as we know. Obviously, Devontae went to the Jets. And now Kansas City said, hey, LA Rams, Cooper Kupp, please? They were ready to let him go, and they said, well, we want kind of a second or third round draft pick. They're like, nah. We'll go get Hopkins. Now, I don't mind the pick, but buddy, I was thinking about what you were saying a second ago. Mahomes, you got Mahomes, who's Brady. Kelsey is the Gronk. Cooper Kupp could have been your Edelman. Why didn't you just give him the extra pick?
You need a white receiver, not a wide receiver. You need a white receiver.
I mean, I didn't want to say it. I mean, you didn't have to go that way, but yeah, at the end of the
It's a
day,
new position.
But Cooper is Edelman 2.0.
well, what about Wes Welker?
Same thing. It doesn't matter. The point is,
Yeah.
you guys went and got Hopkins. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's good. But you know what? He's been in Tennessee too long, and he's not that same kind of guy. Kansas City, you could have just mimicked. You literally took the same blueprint, and you kind of messed it up just now. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just curious to see how they're going to utilize Hopkins. And again, Hopkins has been having Will Levi throw to him. You've had Matt Randolph throw to you. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Mitch, it doesn't have to be the same.
Just saying.
This is the best part. It does not have to be the same.
I still think they should have given the extra couple of draft picks and said, bring Cooper over here. Get him over here. But imagine
Yep.
Cooper Kupp with Mahomes. Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, but Mitch, they found it in Rice. They're okay.
Rice is gone for the year. Well, most likely.
Yeah, okay, but they don't need to get Cooper. This is perfect for them.
I don't
It's
know.
it's the Juju Smith-Schuster pick, DeAndre Hopkins. Mitch,
You know what?
watch.
I don't want you to prove me wrong, but I want you to prove me wrong.
Right, watch.
You know what I'm saying?
Just watch what happens.
You know what I want you to watch? Rapid Banter! Here we go. Shedeur Sanders is a QB for Colorado Buffaloes and is expected to go number 1 overall. He's also the son of Deion Sanders, who's the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes. A lot of people are saying that Carolina and Cleveland have the number 1 pick. Does he do the audible at the line if he's picked first overall? Blue 90, blue 90. No way. No way.
Shedeur sounds like a good idea to draft him first.
Yankees and Dodgers are playing the World Series tonight. How happy is baseball that this is happening?
Oh, man. It's the front half.
And also, who do you got, Judge or Shohei?
You know what? I'll be the judge of that.
Oh.
Judge. I got the Yankees on this one.
Yeah? How many
Too
games?
good to be true.
Give it to me.
6 games.
You know what? I'm actually the opposite. I'm going to take the Dodgers way bigger payroll. Couple of more. It's the Mookie. It's the Mookie factor. I'm
You
sorry.
know what?
I'm going to take the
Good
Mookie.
point. Good point.
Vladdy Guerrero just won Comeback Player of the Year. Where did he go? Or ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Listen to this one. This one's kind of crazy. Al McInnes, former Calgary Flame, Conn Smythe winner from the 89 Flames, is also from Nova Scotia. He tweeted out this week, Sydney, congratulations on 1,600 points. And also mentioned, you're the second best player from Nova Scotia. Is this real news or fake news?
The best news.
So Al McInnes was alleging that he's better than Sydney.
Listen, why not?
Well, you know what?
He's old school.
Respect. I mean, you had a harder slap shot. I'll give you that.
He's old school. Yeah.
Robert Saleh has joined Green Bay coaching staff with Matt LaFleur. And his coaching role is fluid coacher. That's his role, the fluid coaching. That's what they say, okay? What does that mean exactly? He's the fluid coach. I don't know what that means. Offense, defense,
I have nothing.
special teams.
I have
don't know.
nothing appropriate to say, but it sounds like the delivery driver at the Bonacera.
But I will say this. Agreed. I will say this. Best looking coaching tandem in the league. By far. Like, it's not even close.
Easily.
And you know what? Does Robert Saleh hate his family that much, allegedly? Think about this. Was in San Francisco, got the job in New York, gets fired. He's got his money. He can hang out in New York. What's that, LaFleur? You want me in Green Bay? I'm on my way. What role? Fluid? Sure, I'm on my way. Just saying.
How do you like that, Aaron Rodgers?
Okay,
How do you like that?
Last one, I don't know how you're going to take this one.
Okay.
He-Man was a famous and popular cartoon in the 80s. Did you know his best friends and characters on the show were Fisto and Ram Man? Did you know that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, go with the
You
question.
did?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this why She-Ra and Tila were never really on the show?
This is called a Mitch Friday night.
Buddy, when I saw this on the nets, because you know me, I'm perusing.
Yeah.
Fisto and Ram Man. Those were his best friends.
Did you show them the power of your gray skull?
And did you know that he had an alter ego named Prince Adam? Like he was Prince Adam, and then when he did in the Power of Grayskull, he became He-Man.
Yeah. He-Man.
All right. I thought that was going to go a different way. Not going to lie. But I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's already been in trouble once.
Yeah.
He didn't want to hold back.
I said it's a Mitch Friday night.
It's
Yeah.
It's MAGA MALAKA time. Here we go.
What do we got?
At the beginning of the show, I told you, LeBron and Bronny, they're playing together. They're doing a little father-son time. It's MAGA MALAKA. Things to do with your dad.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Here we go. Go to the movies, MAGA or MALAKA.
You know what, MAGA? It's got to be a good guy's movie, though. You know?
If you don't mind me asking, what movie would be a good one to go with your dad?
You know what? The last movie I went with my dad years ago, which is actually shameful because now that I think that's the last one, but we used to do Friday movie nights at the movie theater.
Oh, yeah?
Just me and the George.
Do you remember?
Gladiator.
I've never been to a movie with my dad. I gotta go.
That's what you got to go to a guy's movie though. You can't go like, hey dad, there's this thing like 10 Things I Hate About You starring McConaughey. Just
I don't think my dad would go to that one anyways. Sporting events with your dad. I'm thinking of you and your dad after watching him at WrestleMania or what was it? WrestleMania.
Yeah, the WrestleMania.
Dude, you and your dad at WrestleMania would be amazing.
He gets into it.
He loved it. He loved it.
The sporting event for sure, easily.
Sure. I would love to. I think I'm going to take my dad to a hockey game this year.
No, you know what?
What's that?
You should take your dad, take him to a hockey game.
Yeah.
You should do a father-son trip and take him to an NFL game.
Here we go.
Your dad would go crazy.
Father-son trip. MAGA or MALAKA.
MAGA.
See, here's the thing with the MAGA MALAKA. Yes, it's a great idea on paper.
Right.
Behind the scenes, I'm not sure how good that would go.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Think about this. You used to live in the same house with your dad for many years.
Right.
Then now it's been many years since you've not lived with your dad.
Right.
Can you live with your dad for a couple of days with no mom jumping in?
Oh, okay. I got one even better then. I'm going to go MALAKA on the father-son trip.
Okay, sure.
I'm going to go MAGA on the couple's father-son trip. Meaning I bring my dad, you bring your dad.
Right.
They dad when they get tired, but we son
when
we're not tired.
Right.
Right.
What about golfing? Little father-son golfing.
MAGA. You get that's a family thing that you could do forever. Not forever,
I
but
can almost tell you one hole, and I'm not even joking. One hole in, my dad's out. Well, after one hole, he's out. He's out.
Why?
He's gone.
It's not for him.
It's just not for him. Yeah, it's not.
Oh, it's not for my dad either, but I'm saying it's not us in general.
All right. What about this one? Going to the museum with your dad. You know?
Malaka.
So this is why I would want to do it. This is why I'd say MAGA. Because I would just want him to be like, what is this? Tinato.
This is
Mona Lisa. Tinati.
Oh, no. If this was our, if this was our dad's, it's funny you said. I was thinking Mona Lisa. If this was our dad's, they'd walk in and be like, they would do the standard Greek joke, and the Greeks, if you know, you know, they'd be like this. They'd be like, this is the Mona Lisa, more like the Mona Lisa.
All right, what about going for a nice steak dinner with your dad?
Come on.
Listen, I MAGA it all day. 2 reasons. Number 1, just because he'll be critiquing the thing the whole time. Number 2, he's paying the bill.
He's paying the bill. He's going to talk about how shitty it was, but he's going to eat the whole thing. And then go home and recommend it again.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. All right, what about playing a little one-on-one with your dad? Now, maybe at these ages a little harder, but back in the day, a little one-on-one with dad. Basketball, soccer, little thing with your dad in the back.
Malaka, they're allowed to chirp you in ways that cause you trauma. So no.
So I'm going to tell you something. This last summer, I saw my son get my dad to play a little soccer with him.
Yeah.
And it was maybe one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Why'd your dad get competitive?
Dude, he got competitive.
Yeah, 100%.
He busted the ball in Costa. He busted it on him. It was amazing. Literally, I don't think I've ever been more proud at my dad at kicking the ball pretty hard at my son. I don't know. I liked it. I felt like, you know what, kid? That's what it feels like right there.
Because your dad thinks you're soft, and then he's stepping in.
He's stepping in.
I get it.
That's it. Last one. Imagine this. Me, you, your dad, my dad, at the Rippers. MAGA or MALAKA.
Listen. It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to say Malaka.
Why do you say MALAKA?
Because, listen, when it comes to nudity and things like that,
right?
It's good on TV.
Uh-huh.
It's good in the movies.
Right.
Nice to get a little TNA and kind of give the look to your parent and do one of these and be like, we all throw the joke and be like, if your mom wasn't there, that could be your mom. Right? That's
Man,
fine.
you and your dad have a very different relationship than me and my dad.
But taking him to the Rippers.
Yeah.
Now you're going into etiquette.
I'll tell you why I don't want to do it. The cover charge alone, he's walking away. I'm paying you $10 to come in here, 20, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He'll lose his mind.
They would make the most awkward jokes in the world.
I almost want to do it just to see their face when they see like the girl topless on top of his I don't know if he would be happy or mad. I think he'd be both. How are you both happy and mad at the exact same time?
That's how we grew up. That's called the passive aggressiveness of being a Greek parent. But the best would be like they would sit there. And you have to say it in Greek, unfortunately, but they would be like, "It looks like her butt's eating her underwear."
You know what? I think I want to do it now. I think I'm going to take my dad to the Rippers.
I think that a couple's father-son thing is for the Rippers like it is a sports trip.
After pupani sto piso. Where are they going in the back there? What's back there? The kitchen? I go to. And he comes back. He's like, that wasn't the kitchen.
Excuse me, for a lap dance. How much?
How much?
$50.
He's the only guy that would somehow get it for free, too.
He'd get it for free. Yeah. And then they would hug him and they'd be like, oh, gosh, George, thank you. So good to see you. We love you. Bye, Patricia.
And somehow she's working at the restaurant next week.
Doing deliveries on top of it. Oh! Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you. This Friday thing is taking on a...
It's a great thing.
It's like a Will Ferrell in Gator. You know, and the other guys. There's a darkness inside of us. We're professional people. We're good. But it wants to come out. It wants to breathe. Anyways, it wants to talk to you. It wants to talk sports and have some laughs along the way. It also wants you to follow us on the channels at Sports Show Podcast. Look for the blue and white logo that the good Amy works so hard to clip these things and do everything. Podbean, Spotify, the YouTube, the Instagram. Follow, like, subscribe. Get us on the buzzer, the little bell thing that goes ding ding. CJSW 90.9 FM. This is One for the Books, episode 330.
Boom.
We got to shove it in the locker because we do got to hit the showers.
Have a great week.
Take care, everyone.
I'm going to do it. I've convinced myself this is the greatest idea I've ever come up with.
Take your dad to the Rippers?
It's going to happen.
Do you think, but here's the thing, Jay.
Yeah.
The funny thing is like, of course they've gone already.
Oh, I don't think so. Not my dad. I don't think my dad's gone.
Oh, come on, man.
Not because he's like, buddy, I actually don't
when he
think
first
he
came to
knows what they
Canada?
are, but I don't think
When he
I don't
first
know,
came to
man.
Canada?
It's a good question. Listen, I just don't think it's ever happened because it's not. If you met my dad, well, you've met my dad, but it's not his thing. It's not like that. That's not the thing that he's into.
No.
Gambling, having some drinks back in the day. That was more our dad's generation.
No.
Right?
Listen. I agree. It's not my dad's thing
Right.
to go to the Rippers. I'm just saying that they've been.
I honestly, I'm dead eye looking at you. I don't know. I don't know if he would have.
They were
know.
the gambler drinkers. That
Right.
was their That
Right.
was their bag, right? Some of them had Friday night girls.
Hey, I'd like to think so.
100%. Man.
I'd
Come
like
on.
to think so.
It was that generation.
I hope so. What a time. What a time.
She don't know the difference between this and them. Now you about to witness. Well, freedom is so now.
W, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast.
I'll be locked in.
Amy can do anything.
She's the best.